Pitt, how are you, my man?
I'm doing great.
Good, good. I appreciate you sitting down with me. I have a lot of first-time home buyers that I'm working with, along with a lot of people online that keep messaging me about how and what they need to be doing as first-time home buyers on the financing side.
Gotcha.
So a handful of their questions I was hoping I could run by you and to get your input on.
Yeah, thanks. Let's do it.
Absolutely. So first question I have is, as a first-time home buyer, what needs to be their first step? They're interested in buying a home. They've watched probably a handful of videos, and now they're like, okay, I'm ready, but now I have no idea what to do on the finance side.
The first step is the most important step. What they need to do is slow down and take inventory of their finances, their budgets, what they want in a house payment, and how much money they have to put towards a transaction. And they sit down and talk with myself, talk with a finance person, and they walk them through what their options are and figure out what they can qualify for. But usually it comes down to two questions. How much do you want to write the check for in a monthly payment, and how much money can you put into the transaction? And then you can script around there what's best for that buyer.
Awesome. Awesome. And now, in regards to stroking that big check, I've been hearing a lot of noise and a lot of comments about that I need 20% down to buy a house. Is that true? Or how much money does a first-time home buyer need?
Well, not just a first-time home buyer, but any home buyer doesn't need 20% to put down. If you have the money to put down, sure, it's to your benefit. But let's talk about if you don't have the money to put down. So there are a number of programs out there that can get you up to 100% financing or 97% financing, so you can do as little as 0 down, 3 down, 5% down, 10% down. So during the process of figuring out what you can qualify for and what works best for you, we'll figure out how much of a down payment you really need. So if you had 20% to put down, would you want to take a 0 down program? Probably not, because your monthly payment would be a lot higher.
Yeah,
so the benefit of having a down payment is lowering that monthly payment, and that is really what's most important to the buyers.
Awesome. Another question that I'm getting a lot is people are asking how important is their credit and their credit score.
Wow, tremendously important.
Okay.
Especially if you're a first-time buyer, because so many more doors open up when you have a higher credit score.
Okay.
Credit score is a reflection on your ability to still go borrow credit, and it's a reflection on how you've paid credit in the past. A lot of first-time buyers, it's not unusual that they've had some issues in the past with their credit. One of the first steps is usually to sit down and to go over their credit report and help get them some resources, because there's some simple ways you can raise your credit score. Credit score is really important. For the best programs for the down payment assistance out there, you want to have your middle credit score at 660 or above.
Okay. For a lot of those people that either need to work on their credit, or is there something out there that they can do to build that credit up?
There is, and it's really easy, and there's some great resources. But a lot of it's kind of intuitive. First of all, you have to understand that this credit score is a reflection of 3 main components. How you've paid your credit in the history, okay? How much more you can borrow on your credit, and then the mix of the credit cards or loans that you have. And so it's as simple as sitting down with somebody and going over the 3 buckets and help them adjust it so that their credit score raises up. A typical person with a little bit of money can raise their credit score 100 points in 90 days. 100 points in 90 days, but they have to be motivated.
Right. A lot of people, whenever they approach me or they shoot me a message online, they get a little nervous when I ask them to speak to a loan officer, because they're a little frightful of, I guess, not knowing when they're going to be able to be qualified.
Right. Last thing we want to do is talk to somebody and be turned down in anything in our life. So I get that. And during the process of understanding what's best for the client and qualifying the client, you quickly identify if this is possible for that client. And if it is possible, then what they do is they submit all the documentation up front. You have it underwritten and you get them fully approved. So
Oh,
that
wow.
way a first-time buyer is going out there with confidence, because really the loan is just a catapult to get to where they want to be. They want to own the home.
Right.
So getting the loan pre-approved and then fully approved up front is a very simple process, and it's a lot of fun to go through.
Awesome. Awesome. And people can reach out to you, and
People can reach out to me and we'll do the same thing and sit down and talk to them.
I guess the last question that I've been getting a lot is people ask me, when am I able to go see homes? And to my answer, I say, have you spoken with a lender?
I think that's a great one. What I tell them is when we're starting the loan process, go home and turn off Zillow and turn off Realtor.com for a moment, because what they need to focus on is getting the loan approved with me. Once the loan approved, that's the time to go hang out with you and go find the house and get into that. If they do it before then they're setting themselves up for potential failure.
Absolutely. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for your time. And
Thanks for having me
I
in.
appreciate it. Hopefully we'll
You got
help
it.
some first-time home buyers.
We will.
Awesome.